Hello, I'm the Tomato Blazer Girl. I speak for the tomatoes, and today we are talking vampires and vampires and werewolves. And my dog is aggravating me. Similar to Jacob Black. He's aggravating me. Here's the thing. I've had a very vampire-filled day. You're like, what do you mean, Alexis? How's your day been vampire-filled? Let me tell you. Here's the problem. In this video, I'm going to show you some, majority of. The rest is in that shelf right there. Majority of my Twilight / vampire / werewolf collection. However, there's lore, there's a backstory. So here's the lore and the backstory. You can skip forward if you just want to see. I have so much Twilight stuff. What are you wearing right now? Glad you asked. Let me see, so you can see the full I have 3 other shirts that I am going to show you. So, just wait. Anyways, the lore and backstory behind this is basically, I have read 3.5 of the Twilight books. If you don't know, there's 7 Twilight books. Like, I thought there was 4. We'll get to that. Because don't worry, I don't know all 7. So, if you're like, I thought there was 4. I'm confused. We'll get to that. But I've read Twilight, Eclipse, no. New Moon twice, Eclipse. Oh, Twilight twice. Why do I keep saying Eclipse? New Moon twice, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, half of Breaking Dawn. Actually, I think I got halfway through and I was like, I can't do this. I got to the point where Bella turned into a vampire and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, that's how I felt. So, my joke with myself, because if you don't know, when you have like very little friends, you joke with yourself. And you might be like, that's sad. It's not. Can you spend a whole day by yourself and not go insane? Probably not. I can. Because I have hobbies. That's the difference between me and like a lot of other people. Like, you just do stuff by yourself. You're going to be okay. Anyways, not the point. That's not what this video is about. Anyways, so, for a long time, I didn't have friends or anybody, so I read Twilight. Twilight is similar to Christianity / a cult, which, like, that's the same thing, babe. But it's similar to them in the way where it preys on vulnerable young women who are lonely and sad. Twilight does that as well. So, I was like, I'm going to read the whole saga, all 7 books, before I turn 20 and become a woman. As a teenage girl, I'm going to read all of Twilight. And here's the thing, I read Twilight. I was obsessed with Twilight as a teenager. I'm still a teenager, I'm 19. Like, as a minor who is a teenager. And I read it as a 19-year-old. I read it in January. I read Twilight, and I was like, this is terrible. This is so bad. This is actually so bad. And so I started, my Twilight vampire journey started today because I was like, what movie should I watch today? And it's like, oh, I still haven't watched Twilight because I was gonna read the book, watch the movie. I was like, I still haven't watched Twilight, and I read it in January, so I should probably watch that. And also, there's 2 people who I follow on Instagram who are doing, why did I just forget the word? Reading vlogs of Twilight, and I was like, okay, I'll read New Moon for the 3rd time. Don't ask me why I've read New Moon twice. And I'll be reading it for a 3rd time. I had a hard teenagehood, okay? So, I was like, oh, I'll just read New Moon again. And because I also want to get back into like physical reading. Physical reading to me is either on the ebook or like an actual physical book. Physical reading to me is everything but audiobooks. I do consider audiobooks reading. I say that in like every video because I mean it, okay? But I was like, oh, I'll just like, you know, get the physical book. I'll just like, you know, read that. And so I started reading the ebook, and I do generally really enjoy reading ebooks. I don't do it a lot, but I do really enjoy them. And I haven't even finished the first chapter, and it is so annoying. It's so annoying. Here's the thing. I don't want to be one of those people who hate Twilight, because there is genuine, and I say this every time I talk about Twilight, there is like genuine real reason to think Twilight is crazy. That's the funny thing about like watching somebody who's like a full like developed adult with like a full prefrontal cortex developed, like react to Twilight for the first time ever, not even like in adulthood, but like ever, is they come in thinking it's going to be a really bad, stupid thing that only teenage girls like, and they leave being like, Jacob Black and Edward Cullen they belong on a registry. And it is funny seeing people like realize that. Yeah, I'm aware. I am aware. They're bad. It's bad. So that's how I feel, you know, but there is like genuine reason to criticize Twilight. And when I first started watching Twilight, it was like when I first watched the Titanic, I came into it being like, this is a thing stupid women like, and anything women like is stupid, and all women are stupid, so I'm gonna make fun of it because I'm not like other girls. And with Titanic, I watched it and I was like, this is the greatest movie ever made, and that's true. I will say nothing wrong about Titanic. The only reason I'm comparing Titanic to Twilight is because they both get made fun of because women like them. Otherwise, one is genuinely perfect and the other one has Edward Cullen. So that says a lot about it. So anyways, I'm reading New Moon and I'm like, this is insufferable. Bella is insufferable. Edward is insufferable, and the only reason I'm going to enjoy this is because of Jacob. And then I'm going to have to read Eclipse, where Jacob becomes insufferable. So truly, like, what's the point of reading this? And the point is that I've committed to a bit, and I can't back out. I have to do, you know, understand, I have to do it. I have to. So, you know, then I come home and see that my hold that I placed on January 8th, I've been waiting for this, came in, Blood Moon. I don't know who wrote it. I know it's a black author, which is good, because I've been trying to read more black authors. I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with names. She's like a very new to me author. I am so sorry, I don't know her name. But Blood Moon, which is like, from what I heard, vampire werewolf throuple. No, not throuple, I'm sorry. Even though, you know, I wouldn't mind a throuple. You know I have nothing against the polyamorous community. You know I wrote Edward, Jacob, and Bella fanfiction in the mental institution. That's a fun little fact about me. Is I actually love a throuple. But I don't think it's a throuple. However, I'm excited because it's like a love triangle. And I will always hope. Here's the thing. If you're like, Alexis, do you even like Do you even like vampires? No, I don't like vampires. There's one vampire character I actually like. Every other one is insufferable. And the one vampire character I do like is also an insufferable prick, but I like him. So here's the first thing of vampire merch I'm showing you. I have the whole trilogy. I was just showing you the first one because it's the only one I read. You see this little guy? Yeah, he's a vampire. And I think he's the only well-done, well-written vampire because he's not 100 years old dating a 16-year-old. He's an 18-year-old who was turned into a vampire when he was like a 4-year-old and is the same age as the person. The man. They're gay. Same age as the man he's with. I love that. He's also hilarious. He's very funny. I love, his name is Basil. That's his name. They're British. I love him so much. So, this was kind of just a gag. to be like vampire merch, and it's Bash from Carry On. But I do love him. So there's that. But while I was at the library reading New Moon, getting my 1 chapter in, I haven't finished it because, hold on, I'm checking what my phone's at. Okay, my phone's at 21%. My phone was dying at the library and it was stressful. Oh my god. Hey, don't look down there. Don't look at my feet. Stop. Okay, anyways, I picked up some stuff. So I'm going to show you this and then we're going to get into the collection. So, it's National Poetry Month. If you don't know, I'm working on a poetry collection, and I'm always looking for good poetry to read. So, I saw this one. It looks very good. Look at it. It looks so fun. It looks so fun, doesn't it? Like, that looks fun. That looks good. So, I'm going to read this. I'll probably finish it in, like, a day. That's the goal. But I am excited. Yeah, I wonder when it was published. 2025. 2025. Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. And then I also, this is really cool, picked up Coraline for $1. And in it, let me show you, it came with 4 of these. Glasses. Glasses. Let me put them on. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. I love when DVDs are fun. DVDs are always fun, but I like when they have fun little things in them. So it's like, not only do I get a DVD, I get a fun little thing. So that was really cool. And then to cap off this vampire-filled day, guess what I find? Which is going to be the first thing I show you in my collection. Here's the thing, though. And also, and oh my god, there's more. Yeah, so here's the thing. You're like, why did you buy a second? Ooh, Stefan looks good. Why did you, wait, does he like this gun? No, it doesn't have this. Oh. Why did you buy a second thing of the Vampire Diaries Season 1 if you already have Vampire Diaries Season 1? Here's the thing, this one looks cooler. It's holographic. I wanted this. And I also thought that this one had a DVD that was like, let me check the second DVD just to make sure. I checked the first DVD. Let me check the second DVD just to make sure. No, it's perfectly fine. Okay. I thought my DVD was messed up. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just get this. It's $2. I'll get this. My DVD's fine. So now I just have 2 versions, which is great because now I can use this one for scrapbooking. Obviously not the disc. I'm not going to touch this. But this? Yeah. And also, I wanted it. So that's my reasoning. But I started my Vampire Diaries collection with the first season. I got this in Flagstaff, which if you don't know, Flagstaff is northern Arizona. I don't live in northern Arizona, but I was up in northern Arizona. I saw it. I got it. I watched Vampire Diaries Season 1 when I was in the 10th grade, and I haven't watched any others. So I'm slowly collecting the whole series so I can watch it all, even though I don't know if I'll ever fully commit to watching it all. I want the whole series on DVD. So, I got, is this Season 2? No, this is Season 2. I got Season 2 at my local library because I saw it and I begged my mom to buy it for me. And she did. Gorgeous. Look at the back. Look at the back. They're serving. And then I saw Season 3 at the Dobson branch of my library. And I was very happy. So now I have 3, well, technically 4, but 3 different seasons. And I'm very happy. So, I don't know if this means I'm going to start watching Vampire Diaries now. Again. We'll see. We'll see. My next thing in my collection is, I have all the Twilight movies. And it took me a while to get all of them. Specifically, Breaking Dawn was really hard to find. I've never found it in like a Goodwill or anything, but I did find it at Harper's Books, Working On Part 1 and Part 2. So I got that. And the Working On Part 1 and Part 2, they are the most chaotic Twilight movies. They're so funny. Like, they're genuinely so funny. I do recommend them. If you're like, I want to watch a Twilight movie, but I don't want to, like, commit to the saga. I don't want to, like, know everything that's going. I don't really care about, like, plot. I just want to watch it for shits and giggles. Watch Breaking Down Part 1 and Part 2. They're so funny. So, just know, I'm not showing you the whole DVD collection, but I have every single Twilight movie on DVD. Okay. Cool. Next, I also have the 4 main audiobooks on physical audiobooks. Here's how I got them. So, at my local library, I went and I saw Twilight and New Moon. And this is what they look. I'm only showing you New Moon. I only showing you New Moon and Eclipse because Twilight and New Moon look different than Eclipse and Breaking Dawn. So I'm showing you New Moon and I'm showing you Eclipse. This is what they look like. Imagine Twilight just with the apple cover. You know it. Oh my god, why did I just gasp for air? Twilight's literally sucking the life out of me. That's crazy. Anyways. I saw this and I was like, I need that. They were $4 each. I was like, that's ridiculous. So I buy New Moon, and then I asked the lady at the bookstore, I'm like, can you please put Twilight on hold for me? Please. And she's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And so I the next day I scrounged up all my pennies and I got Twilight, and that's how I owned both of them. About, I don't even know, like a month later, I go to my, what is my dog doing? He's outside the window. What are you doing? Kobe! Kobe! It's okay. I'm right here. It's okay. I'm right here. Nothing bad's happening. It's okay. I love you. I love you. What are you doing? Why are you just watching me from the outside window? That's strange behavior. That's freak behavior. What are you doing? Okay, bye. I don't know. Anyways, I walk into the main library, which is in downtown Mesa, and I see Eclipse and Breaking Dawn. Eclipse was $1, Breaking Dawn was $2. Strange. And they're busted. They work. I've used them before. But these are like the DVDs my friend's mom, not like, I don't think she actually had Twilight, but these are the ones she types of DVDs, CDs, whatever. CDs? This is a CD? I think this is a CD. These are the type of CDs my friend and mom had. So they're very nostalgic to me. And yeah, this is what they look like. They're so silly. I like them better than like the nice Twilight and New Moon. I really think they're really funny. They're probably some of my favorite things in my collection. Also, I think every single thing I've shown you is thrifted, except this because it's a library book. Otherwise, every single. Oh my god. Oh my god, are you okay? I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Everything I've shown you is thrifted. Every single thing. Because I don't like giving money to that woman. I don't like it. So, now I will show you here's the order of how I'm going to show you how it's going to go. I'm going to show you my Twilight books. These are not all my Twilight books, but these are like the special editions. And then I'm going to show you the rest of the Twilight saga that's like not a part of the main 4. And also I have another vampire book that I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to show you my DIYs. So, let's start with these guys. I started collecting special editions of Twilight with New Moon. And yeah, I started collecting them then. So I think this is my most recent collection, probably my last one. I don't plan to buy another Twilight book. Well, actually, it's not the most recent Twilight book I've bought. I've bought other Twilight books, but it is the most special edition Twilight book I've bought. So it is the iconic cover. I'm also going to show you my shirts. I want this as a t-shirt so bad. They like sell it at Walmart. I just haven't bought it yet. I want this. I'm happy with all the Twilight t-shirts I have. I don't think I need any more, but I do want this on a t-shirt. And I also want like a Jacob t-shirt, and I want it to be brown because like I associate New Moon with the color brown, and I associate Jacob with the color brown, like a earthy brown, like a light brown, really pretty brown. Brown's a really pretty color, so I want that, and I think I want that in like a hoodie or something. So I'm on the lookout for that. But yeah, I got this at a library bookstore, not my local library. It's another library that like is local to me, but it's like I wouldn't be able to get a card there because I don't live in the county. So I was very happy about this. I don't know how much it was. I think it was like $1. Very excited. This is a mass market, I'm pretty sure. This is the only mass market I own, and I really like it. I think it's really cute. I'm not a big mass market girly, but I do think it's cute. I talked about this cover more in my last video, so if you want to go check that out. But this is what got me started on special editions. New Moon is probably my favorite book, so I really like this one. And again, like the browns are very New Moon. I don't like the original covers. Hot take, I don't like the original covers. Next, this Eclipse. If you're like, that's not a special edition, that's just Eclipse, let me tell you. It came with like 2 little things that you could like put onto shirts that said Team Jacob and Team Edward, and I tried and I failed both times, but I kept both of them. And I used the Team Jacob for a DIY, and I plan to use the Team Edward for a DIY, but right now it's just in my room. And also it came with a Breaking Dawn poster, like the cover, the dust jacket turned into a Breaking Dawn poster. And also I'm pretty sure you realized this already, but it's every other Twilight book, it's the dust jacket has the design, and the actual book is black, which is so boring. This is incredible. This is like, I think, one of the prettiest Twilight books I own. I love it so much. And then lastly, I have a poster of this because it came with a poster. I became really obsessed with the Breaking Dawn covers, so I got this. And it also has Taylor Lautner on the back. And did I write anything in this? No. Okay, it's completely. Hold on. Completely blank. The Taylor Lautner is the best part. So those are my special editions of Twilight. Moving on to the other 3 books. I feel like there's more Twilight books, unfortunately, yes. This is Life and Death. This was the 10th anniversary edition, and it is a gender bent version of Twilight. It's literally the exact same. I haven't read it yet, so technically, like, don't quote me. It is the exact same story, but gender bent. That's real creative, Stephanie. I got this at a Goodwill, and then I saw a guy at like a fling. Not even a fling. We like liked each other, but wouldn't admit we liked each other. One of those things. I saw him at the Goodwill, and I was like, oh my god. So this book is cursed to me, but I was looking everywhere for it, and I got it. This is The Short Second Life of Brie Tanner. You're like, what the fuck is that? This is about a side character in Eclipse. I'm not going to explain who she is because I don't feel like explaining Twilight lore to you. This is what I mean. It's just black. It's just black. It's the dust jacket. That's pretty, and the dust jacket is ugly. $1 from each book sold will be donated to the American Red Cross. Well, luckily, I bought this secondhand, babe. That's a joke. I don't have anything against the American Red Cross. Anyways, I wanted this book forever. I found it at my library bookstore. I was so happy. And I do unfortunately have to read it now. Lastly, this is the prettiest Twilight cover. I have the hardback version of this. I bought it at Half Price Books because I couldn't find it anywhere else. I was like, I'm not going to find it anywhere, so I'll buy it at Half Price Books. The paperback is so much prettier. And it's so much prettier. And it's like the exact same. It's really stupid of me to say it's prettier, but it is. It is. If I do ever read this book physically, this is the one I will read because the paperback is so much prettier. I love it. And so I bought this instantly. But I do have 2 copies of Midnight Sun, which is funny because I hate Edward. You're like, are you Team Jacob? I'm Team Bella getting therapy, and both those men staying the fuck away from her. Maybe if Jacob undergoes a lot of therapy, he can maybe... I'm fine with them being friends. I don't know about a relationship. However, Edward, she needs to put a restraining order on that man. That's my opinion. Lastly, vampire book that isn't vampires. No, that isn't Twilight. This on the literal cover, it calls it a TikTok phenomenon, which I think is like a red flag, like a really big red flag. Also, the blurb on the back, there's red letters and it spells out monster, which I think is stupid, but also kind of funny. I don't know if I'll ever actually read this. It was kind of an impulse buy. Also, this looks AI generated for sure. It was kind of like an impulse buy, but maybe I will one day. Maybe I will one day. And that's it for the books. Now, let's move on to the other stuff. I bought Twilight trading cards from the movie Eclipse. I don't know why I bought Eclipse, because I don't like Eclipse. It's my least favorite movie. It's ass. But I bought them. My sister got me them for Christmas. I requested them. I'm looking for New Moon ones, because I haven't learned my lesson. Boom. Boom. If you don't know Twilight lore, you're not going to understand these. You're like, that's a random man. Who is that? I don't know. Here's Jacob being annoying at Bella's graduation party. More chaos. Victoria. More chaos. Okay? That's not all the cards I got. I got a really funny one that just shows Edward's face really intensely, like, and it says, marry me. I love it. It's my favorite. And then another one of Bella and Jacob together when he, like, right before he unconsensually kisses her, and it's called Pick Me. So I call it the Pick Me, Choose Me, Love Me card. Because that's what it is. For our first DIY, we probably had the best one. Here's the fun thing. I wanted to do a Twilight scrapbook for a while. Instead, I did Twilight collages, and only one of them came out good. I only did them for Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse, because it's hard to find stuff for Breaking Dawn. But, yeah. But you don't need to buy, like, print out photos of the Twilight characters. Just buy the DVDs and cut shit out, and that's how I did like all my DIYs except one of them. So this, I cut the picture out from the back of the Eclipse DVD. It's them in the meadow. This is actually a really cute DIY. I do generally really like this. Oh, I also have a Cedric Diggory. I hate J.K. Rowling. I got it when I was like a 7th grader, but I got a Cedric Diggory Funko Pop that I keep, like a miniature one that I keep on the thing because it's funny. Okay, these are the 2 collages. They are low-key ass, but I love them. I do love them. New Moon's probably better than Eclipse. And lastly, my best one, this is the thing that I got from the Eclipse special cover. And I cut it out and then I printed out. This was from a like Twilight film book I got about like the making of the movie. And then for this one, this is a page from New Moon that I turned into a moon. And then I printed out photos of Jacob. And then I put washi tape as borders that I got from my library. And on the inside, I have a letter Jacob wrote to Bella at the beginning of the clips that ends with, "Yeah, I miss you too. A lot. Doesn't change anything. Sorry." And when I read that as a 17-year-old, I lost my mind. And that was everything. That is everything. If you would ask me, Alexis, should I read Twilight, I would say no. Unless you are so deeply unhinged, it's not going to hurt you. Because when you read Twilight as a mentally ill 17-year-old, you don't notice any of the problems. You're having a great time. When you read Twilight as a less mentally ill 19-year-old, you're like, why did I ever enjoy this? I have standards now, you know? Anyways, Team Jacob, I guess.